welcome back to the Proverbs for 18 Millennial YouTube channel. On the last episode, we were talking to Mary, and Mary's still here with us. I told you guys there's gonna be a continuation, so yeah. Thank you, Mary, for being here again. If this is your first time joining us, my name is Desaya Adishagiri. This is Mary Taiwo. Excuse me, she's married. Mary Kende Odufora. Before I get some words from my husband. So we over the last conversation we kind of just talked about daddy's money versus my money. Talked about the different degrees that she's had. I mean, she's got a lot of them. I think she's like keeping them in an arsenal or something. So today we kind of wanted to dive deeper a little bit and just talk about like what are some of the ways that you have been able to raise money for yourself. Like, what are some of the things that, I know you mentioned in the last episode, and I thought that was really, very concrete wisdom. Like, whatever money you earn should be sufficient for you. I mean, it's a no-brainer, and I really like how you put it, how you phrase it that way. But what if, you're like, I want to increase my earnings, I want to make a little bit more money. What would be ways that you would suggest as a PhD student?
Okay. It's quite challenging because in the first year as a PhD student, you don't even have time for yourself. You go to classes, you teach, and then you go to research. By the time you come back, you're very, very tired. So I think one way my colleagues did it was, I don't know, it's a whole different game, but sometimes when you're coming into the school, they give you Dean's Fellowship. So that's a way for you apply for the fellowship, you get the fellowship, and it supports you like 5,000, 10,000 for the first semester. But if you don't have that, you can do babysitting. I have colleagues that do that. And that one, you also have to work around your schedule to babysit. You can't be having class by 10 and then you're babysitting at 8 and rushing to school. It doesn't work that way. But you have to find a babysitting schedule that works for you. And it's not a bad thing to babysit. I babysitted for free before, but now it's not for free. You get the money, but you also can do some online trading. I just started that now, but some people do day trading. You can do that. Just jump in $20, $50. Some people have minimum of $50 per day you get, and $50 in 30 days. It's 1.5. Yeah. That's also a good
chunk.
But that's not a very reliable source though, because what if you are trading at a loss that day? Then you don't have an income for that day. But it's also one side job people do. And then another one is tutoring. Yes, as a PhD student. Usually they tell you, a PhD student, this money they give you every month should be fine for you. So you shouldn't get an outside employment. It doesn't work that way. People go online and look for tutorings I have a student that I teach in the class, but then the student needs extra help, although it also has some confidentiality issues.
Got it.
But still, some people do it. And some people say, okay, I'm going to do exam tutoring today. Before you enter my class, everyone is paying $10, and you're having 30 students. At the end of the tutoring class, you're going on with $300.
Oh, so you tutor before, like you tutor your students for ahead of an exam?
Yes, you can tutor your students, and some people also do online tutoring.
I see.
And you can also look for tutors online that you go to their houses to teach. So there are different ways. I had my very close friend in California does that a lot. That's what she used to support herself.
I see.
Outside the payment they give in school.
I see. Wow, those are ways that I wouldn't have known. I'm not a PhD student. I've never been one. Thanks for sharing those opportunities. What about all these like type of research grants, all that stuff? Like, is that something that people can,
Yeah, that's what people do, but you have to have paid the price ahead of time. That means you have to have studied hard to get the grades that will qualify you to get the grant.
I see.
And also, sometimes it's not about the grades. It's also about how you present yourself. You have to make them know that I'm valuable. I just give me anything, I'm ready to do it. So you talk to your supervisor could set up something for you that, okay, during the summer you are going to be my own research what do they call it? Research assistant. So
okay.
you work for your supervisor. And sometimes the money is a little bit above how much they pay the regular PhD student, and sometimes it's equal, but that's also a way to get
extra
as
money.
well.
Interesting. Okay. No, those are very, very, amazing ways that people need to get creative. I feel like that's kind of what I'm hearing you say. I mean, from everything you're saying, you can literally juggle babysitting with tutoring, with being this preferred research assistant or like, PhD student. And like once you bundle all these different things up, you have money. Now it sounds like a lot of these are not reliable sources of income. Well, I won't call them reliable, but they're not like guaranteed. So maybe this month you're making money from your little day trading. You can still, but I mean, look at that: babysitting, tutoring, research assistant, day trading, and you can do everything at the same time.
Yeah.
And then, topping that with getting a room in a house, like getting an apartment on your own.
Oh yeah, some people do that too. They rent two bed. I have a friend that does that. She rented 2-bedroom apartment, and then she does Airbnb for that. And
y'all know we don't talk about Airbnb though. Y'all know we don't talk. If you haven't watched that video, link down below. We don't talk about that stuff. So like that thing works, right?
Yes, it does work. Yeah.
Okay. No, what about Uber? Is that something that you guys explore?
I have one person that did Uber, but he's also a tough guy, so I don't know.
So he's pretty resilient.
Yeah.
So maybe that would be a little bit too much, depending on time.
I wouldn't do that though.
Okay. I mean, I know timing is limited, but to the extent that you want extra cash, I mean, these are just opportunities that would, that you guys can tap into. And
then as Nigerians, you can plait hair.
That's true. If you like to do people's hair.
Yeah, I would just. And then there are a lot of salons that are just looking for
in and out trade braiders.
Just come and braid, and I'll give you a little sum of money. You can do that as well.
There's so many opportunities to just tap into, and I mean, again, it's not guaranteed. It's not a full-time job, but you can make some extra cash off of it. No, thank you for that. So I want us to take a little bit of a pivot and just kind of talk to our aspiring PhD students, or the first years. And also kind of help them, talk them through what to expect. Well, let's take a step back. Start from how to apply. If you're looking to get into a PhD program, or if that's something that that you want to, maybe you're not ready for it, but just want to start thinking about it. Talk us through what to expect, how to go through the process, and getting through the process. What should you be asking for? Things that are not just regular on your admission package, or what should your admission come with? Talk us through that process. It'd be really helpful for her.
Okay. Coming from a Nigerian background, I knew I had to, not just Nigerians, you have to write the GRE. And I knew that, I was writing the GRE for my master's, but I knew this was my final destination. I wanted to get a PhD. And we read, you have to have a good GRE score, giving your best to get it. So I did it the first time, I didn't get what I wanted. I did it the second time, it was still the same, or just very similar. But I knew that I gave it my very best. So I knew that I was going into the US to get my master's, but eventually I would apply for the PhD. But I didn't want to write the GRE again. So at that point, I had to give it my very best to get a good GRE score. So once you had that, I had that. And then prior to the end of my master's program, I started applying for the PhD program. And one thing I was always looking for is, are they going to fund me? Because I wasn't going to go to school paying from pocket again. I made up my mind. It's not.
So securing funding is very important.
It has to be. And they ask you when you are making the application. And I went to Cal State Long Beach, and they don't, because of the state school, the fundings were not really much. So even when I applied for fundings and they gave me, it wasn't a big amount, but it was something that I had to throw myself out and made all these applications. Please give me funding. I was even partial. But eventually, when making my choice for a PhD school, number one, I ruled out state schools, because maybe it was just a myopic thinking, but I knew the fundings weren't great compared to the government funded schools.
Got it.
So I aimed for that, I'm going for government schools, and I also looked at their research areas. When you're making a PhD choice, it's very myopic and very, I wouldn't say lame, to think that I'm going to this school because of the research. Research changes every day. You can go there and say, I have this idea. Can you help me as a mentor And people are very open to new things. And if it's no, I can't, you look for somewhere else. But don't just go into a school. I'm going for this one professor. If I don't get into that school because of that professor, what happens? I don't want to go into that school because of just one professor. And widen your horizon. Second way I chose my PhD schools when applying was just looking at their research areas. I knew what I wanted to do as a scientist, and I went to the professor's website and saw exactly what they were doing. But the thing is that some of their websites are actually outdated. So you may go to the school and the professor would say, I don't do that anymore. But so I kept my research options also open. The lab I initially wanted to join when we started our rotation, so the research looked good, but the PI wasn't great. So
what is a PI?
Oh, principal investigator. So that's your research supervisor. She wasn't the best. In terms of knowledge, she had a lot of knowledge, but in terms of PI student relationship, I didn't really see that as something I liked. So I decided to change my interest totally. So I came from a protein background, and this research I wanted to join, she's also protein, so it was an easy transition. But now, because of that, most of the professors I was also interested in were RNA based, that's nucleic acid. So I had to change my interest to fit into the nucleic acid. And this is because I know that science is now interdisciplinary. So you can have an engineering degree, you can still work in the science field, it's the biochemistry field. There's always one thing or the other opened up. So I didn't restrict my research choice to proteins. So I now became more open to other aspects of it. And the last thing I then looked at was the ranking of the school. People would say in PhD schools it's not really important, but sometimes it is. I don't want to go to spend so many years getting my PhD degree and then we're going to a backyard school no one knows about. And then someone says, what school are you going to? I'm actually going to a small school in Pennsylvania. I don't know this. I know you wouldn't know it, but it's a really good school. You start convincing them. Unlike when I say I'm going to Harvard. Okay. I know it's fine. Or I'm going to UMD or something. People would know. So that's also very important. And anything else?
No, I think those are wow. Thank you so much for going into all of that detail. So from everything I gather, and I wasn't taking notes at all, I hope you are, but making sure that the ranking, if we're going to start from bottoms up, ranking is good. Don't be limited by a certain type of research. Make sure that you are open-minded and know that science is interdisciplinary. And then the first thing you mentioned was that you decided not to go to a state school. All right. Perfect. I've really enjoyed talking to you. I'm sure people will probably have a bunch of different questions. If you have questions for Mary, please comment down below. Reach out to me, send me an email, and I will definitely pass them on to you. Do you have any parting words for us? Nothing? But yeah, thank you so much for being on the show. This has been super, super educational.
Thank you for having
me. I want to be able to tell you guys what PhD or what it is like to be a PhD student, to live through that. And she planned a wedding on that. It was crazy. But you guys better take some tips. And I know she mentioned trading and some day trading. I am not an expert in that. I would let her handle that. But maybe we can do another episode on what trading is. I know she said she just started it, but maybe we'll do another episode on that. But she is the expert. I don't know, guys. But yeah, until next time, thank you so much for tuning in today again. Do not forget to follow us on social media. The handles will be down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
And share. She speaks wisdom.
Well, thank you so much. Yes, share this video with everybody that this can be helpful for. If they're looking to get into a PhD, if that's something that even remotely crosses their minds, you probably just explore it, right? All right, guys, until next time, Odabo, because that's how we say it in Yoruba. Bye, guys. Odabo.